Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello, beautiful starseeds. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today is Monday, so we get to do our weekly Starseed Channeled reading where I go over the astrology for the week, kind of like an overview of what's coming, and then also go and do a card reading, like I go somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. I do a card reading and I pull 5 cards, and it's intuition card, challenge for the week, overall theme for the week, wisdom from the ancestors and the animal spirit that's going to guide us for the week. So before we get into the content, let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Mama Ocean. Welcome in. Yes, And Courtney, hello. And Dawn, hello. Joan, welcome. Chanel, how are you? Yeah, you guys are posting in the chat that it's been brutally intense. Energies are brutally intense. It's been a bit challenging. And so sweet that you guys, I get to spend time with you guys too. Because trust me, you guys feed me just as much as I feed you. I mean, honestly, hello, Humble Raw, welcome in. Hello, Traylene, welcome in. I'm serious. Like, I totally get it. I have been, this eclipse was gnarly. Let's just say that it was intense. Hello, Deb, welcome in. Very, very emotionally draining for me. There's a lot of things happening at the same time. And what I have been experiencing is like overwhelm. So that's where I'm at. I'm just like, I've been feeling overwhelmed and having to literally take it like 1 minute by 1 minute instead of like day by day, literally like minute by minute. And oh, thank you, Erin. Yes, I am featuring today, modeling the amethyst headpiece, the meditation headpiece. And you can get these on my Etsy shop. Eagle Star Jewels is the name of the Etsy shop. And yeah, so there's just been like so much going on at the same time that it's just been overwhelming. I am really glad that the eclipses are over, and I can't freaking wait for the full moon in Gemini. Because I'm a Gemini, and I pray that that moon will bring fun, loving energies, because I am like, so drained. I also have something special planned for the full moon in Gemini. I've been getting ready for the my Akashic Records readings that I'm going to be offering starting in January. And for the Starseed membership that is now open for registration, the Starseed membership, the content begins on the winter solstice. We're going to hit it off with a special live event for members only, so a private event. And I will be doing a ceremony and we'll be kind of calling it basically like starting a new year. Like we're going to do this for like the new year for us in the Channel for Grace community. And the winter solstice is, even though it's the darkest day and the darkest night, or the darkest day. That's so weird to say. It's the longest night of the year, but we celebrate like the solar king, which it's like the Christ being, right? Like that's why it all happens around the same time, like Christmas and the holidays and, Christ consciousness and celebrating, Christ in general, the energy of Christ being. It all happens around the winter solstice, and that's not a coincidence. This is the solar king that is reborn every year during this time, and what we celebrate during the winter solstice is actually the return of the sun, or the return of the light. Right? It's all like, it all starts to click. So this is why we are beginning the Starseed membership on this date. And so I would love you guys to join me on that beautiful journey. I'll be guiding you through the whole year, through astrology transits, new and full moons. I'll be doing what I started talking about just now is Akashic healing chambers is one of the things that I'm going to be offering as part of my new types of readings that you can get from me. And the Akashic Healing Chamber is basically this beautiful experience of energy healing, sound healing, music, voice, the Hathors, basically channeling the Hathors energy, she of 1,000 voices. And I have been buying new instruments. I have been buying new mics to get everything plugged in, and it's all going to go through my system. And like I have the interface for it and everything. So I'm getting like professional with it for my sound healings. And we've got the gong. And it's the Venus gong, the one that I have. And so we've got, the medicine, the feathers and the crystals, which are going to be a part of it. And of course, the Akashic records will be basically guiding me in the healing that needs to happen in that moment. But the Akashic healing chambers are part of the Starseed membership. And we'll be doing one for New Year's Eve. But you'll have to be a member to be able to join us for that healing chamber. But I can't wait to begin to share these new offerings with you. And of course, I'm creating more jewelry. I am so stoked about the next Moon Goddess training that starts January 29th. You will not want to miss that program. It is an 8-week long program where we dive into the temple initiations of ancient Atlantis and ancient Lemuria and learn what the students learned in the schools, the mystery schools, going through like Hermetic alchemy and obviously like combining it all with astrology. And it was all a part of the mystery schools, all of it. And so this training has really become a mystery school, literally, like straight up for my beautiful goddesses and starseed beings. And so everything that's been, arriving and coming is so amazing. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And even though things are hard emotionally and energetically, I am really, really in a space of gratitude for all of it. And I have to keep, reminding myself, and I think we all do when we feel challenged with life, that we're on the right track, and that whatever you feel drawn to and whatever you feel called towards is you have to go do those things, and you have to do them with your whole heart. You have to commit fully, with your heart to the things that are really, important for you. So it's just a magical time. It really is. It's a powerful time on the planet. We are 12,000 years after the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria. And we're basically in the opposite astrological year. Like during that time was the age of Leo. And now we're right across the sphere, which is the age of Aquarius. And so we are rebuilding, we are like recreating ourselves. This time we get to do it better. This time we get to activate ourselves in a different way. This time we get to really listen to the message and, channel it through us. And that is why you see all of these things popping up in the world, because they are things that are kind of awakening in the collective. And obviously the star seeds are here and the teachers have arrived. Like the teachers have arrived, and more of those teachers are stepping into, their essence, their destiny, their path, and owning what they're here to do. And that's part of a big part of my destiny as well. As a projector in human design, I have always known deep within my soul that I was a teacher, and I always just wanted to teach. I never knew what I was going to teach, but I knew that it was going to be something spiritual. I honestly, you guys, this has been such a beautiful unfolding of me finally understanding, oh, now I understand why I was like drawn to all these things. So that's everything that's going on. And I know you guys are hanging out in the chat. So I want to say hi to some more people. Kimberly, hello, welcome in. Valerie, good evening. It's easier to meditate during sunrise when the sunrise is at like 7 a.m. Yes. And you know what? Honestly, like it's also really nice to meditate in the evening. Nelvin, how are you? Welcome in. Belinda, good evening. Thank you for being here. So happy to be of service, you guys. And yes, exactly. Just showing up is one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves. First is for ourselves. You have to take care of yourself, and then you can show up for the world, and you have to understand, why you're here. And a lot of people want to know, hello, Maricela. A lot of people want to know why they're here. And the reason why you want to know why you're here is because there is a purpose. Like there is a reason why you chose this incarnation at this time to have these experiences. Hello, too far out. To activate yourself in these ways. There is a reason. When you learn to be coherent with the laws of the universe, because the laws of the universe is really where it's at, and that's the thing that they learned in the schools of initiation, the mystery schools. You have to live coherently with the laws of the universe, body, mind, and spirit. In this third dimension, we get to experience the divine within us. We get to have an experience of divinity. And if you understand what exactly that means, because you can talk about it and be like, oh yeah, this is an amazing thing and blah, blah, blah. And it's so cool. Like, join me. But unless you really understand what I mean by that, it's just an idea. But diving into it, like for example, like we're going to do in the Moon Goddess training, is part of learning your own purpose here on Earth. And part of that is knowing astrology. So, and that's one of my passions, and astrology really came really naturally to me. It's like I'm remembering, and I really believe that we're all just remembering. We're remembering who we are. We're remembering the knowledge. We came with it, intact with the knowledge, but we forgot. So now it's time to peel the layers of who you are not. You have to learn to become nothing, to be everything. And to have that experience of the divine is to let go of a lot of preconceived ideas of what like life should look like and be and all this stuff, and step into magic. The magic, everything, magical life, miracles, and wormholes and miracles. The 35th gene key, which is my life purpose, is the title of it is Wormholes and Miracles. So I'm here to teach you. I'm here to take you through wormholes that will activate miracles in your life. Like that's literally, I was made for this. That's my design. So it's amazing. It's amazing to be here. So some of the things that are going on this week, we have a few transits that are pretty powerful. Let me put some of the stuff out of the way, and then we'll get into the conversation. So some of the powerful transits that are happening today, we're going to have a Mars sextile Pluto. That actually is happening today. Yes, we are magic. Hello, Boo Barth. Mercury is going to square Neptune as well. That's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to have Mars square Jupiter on the 8th. So it's like boom, boom, boom. They're like hitting one after another. That will be on, let's see, Wednesday. We'll have Venus conjunct Pluto, and that's a big one. I kind of want to look at the chart for that one, so I'll pull it up when we get to it. And the last important thing that's happening this week is that the Sun is making a square to Neptune. And so if we kind of break down these energies, today with the sextile from Mars to Pluto, it's actually a good thing because it'll give us this surge of energy to when we desire to achieve something. Sometimes the drive and the motivation isn't there. So this Mars sextile Pluto kind of gives us that little extra push and activates our passion and activates our desire. So it's like a wave that comes in and asks us to just like, you can just jump into the wave and it'll take you. So that's actually a beautiful transit. Tomorrow with the Mercury square Neptune, any kind of square, like a square or opposition, can create a challenge. Mercury being the planet of the mind and thinking and communication, and Neptune being the planet of intuition, but also like the infinite and also the subconscious mind. And it can create it can be overwhelming and create like a fog of confusion if that it's not clear where you're at, because you can always often feel with Neptune transits or 12th house transit or anything like that has to do with Pisces, you can feel lost in the abyss, and it can create like an overwhelming sense of, I don't know what's going on because I feel like I'm floating in the abyss, and there's confusion there. So that can create a little bit of confusion. So it's important to just be when you communicate with others, just be really clear, but also understand that like we're all experiencing this. So if you are struggling to communicate with people, especially tomorrow, just understand that everyone that you communicate with may be experiencing this sense of like kind of feeling a little bit lost. And that's what that Mercury square Neptune energy can bring in. So Mars kind of comes back and he's playing a big role this week. He's going to square Jupiter on the 8th. And what that's going to do, since Jupiter is the biggest planet of our solar system, and Mars has to do with drive and taking action and moving forward with, like, they're having a direction. What this can do is it expands, the energy that you have to go do the things that you want. And a lot of times with Jupiter, because he's known as the greater benefic, what happens with Jupiter and Venus, they bring good luck whenever they're in conversation with other planets. Jupiter brings a lot of good luck, and Venus just brings like love and beauty, because you have the planet of like expansion and like Santa Claus. Jupiter is like Santa Claus, and he kind of comes in, and he brings gifts. And Venus, just love and beauty and harmony are her main kind of essence. Like that's what she really wants. That's what she really desires in life. When you have like squares or oppositions to Jupiter, sometimes they're not necessarily like a negative thing. Like the Mercury square Neptune can create confusion. The Mars square Jupiter can actually activate, like bring more of that fire to an initiative, right? And the energy can give you the energy and the initiative to take on the things that you want, and the risk, to take the risks that you need to achieve like big time success type of thing. So it's a big deal. Mars is actually the sextile to Pluto and the square to Jupiter this week can create opportunities for a lot of deep and powerful growth. And then on the 11th, we're going to have Venus conjunct Pluto. Now the 11th is, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I think Saturday. I think that's Saturday. We'll have Venus conjunct Pluto. And what's going to happen is this is a conjunction that's going to happen right before she actually goes retrograde. And the retrograde, I've been talking about it, but it's a big deal because this retrograde is something that happens only every 18 months. It's happening in Capricorn. And when it happens, Venus makes the Cassini point with the sun. And she conjuncts the sun and gets burned out by the light of the sun. Basically, it's a rebirth. She goes into the underworld and is reborn and then becomes the morning star after her retrograde. And the start point that she's creating with the sun is the start point in the sign of Capricorn, which what I've been, talking about is that about taking ownership of our relationships and taking ownership of the things that like we really want in relationship, and like to realize that if we don't have what we want, it's because we have what we have. And to have what we want, you need to because here's another way to put that. If you don't have what you want, it's because you have what you are right now. So to have what you want, you need to become what you want. And to become what you want means that there's things that you have to release and let go of. And that includes stories, habits, like negative habits and patterns within relationships, like codependency, continuously taking on like emotional abuse, and also like giving it out yourself. I've been there. Like, trust me, when you're not aware of how you are emotionally abusing other people or manipulation is a big one. It's a hard one to face, but it's like especially if you've been the victim of narcissistic abuse or emotional abuse, you tend to like also become the abuse, like the, what do they call it? The perpetrator in a way. So the way to get out of that dynamic that's very toxic in relationships is to stop, like get out of the game, because the game of like victim perpetrator, and this is something that Teal Swan talks about a lot. Everybody has a role. Like, it's not like the victim doesn't have a role, right? Like the victim has their role. Like they have to be the victim. And then in a sense, it's like the only way for them to be a victim is there has to be a perpetrator. And the story is like a karmic cycle that just like repeats itself over and over and over again. And so to always feel like you are in the place of a victim is to always invite a perpetrator. Yeah, mic drop. So the way to get out of the cycle is to like jump out of the game and be like, I don't want to play that game anymore. I don't want to be a victim, and I don't want to be a perpetrator, because you know how that feels. So you have to get out of the game. And so it's hard for people to get out of the game. So unless you take ownership of your life and your relationships, it'll just continue to be the game. Victim, perpetrator, victim, perpetrator, victim, perpetrator. It'll never stop. And that's with all kinds of relationships. It's not just with like love relationships or like romantic relationships. That's like with everything. Any kind of relationship can be that way. So you have to understand your patterns, your negative habitual patterns, the stories. My teacher likes to call them your scripts that you're running in the background, like the program that's running in the background. You have to you have to update your software. And when you update your software, it's becoming aware of how much you're a part of the game. So get out of the game is Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Get out of the game is Venus conjunct the sun in Capricorn. Get out of the game is the Cassini point, is the star point in Capricorn, and take responsibility for who you are in your relationships. And when you do that, you no longer play the game. And so, of course, it causes people who are not ready for that to react most of the time in a negative way, unless they're like, no, you're right. Let's stop playing the game. And how do we do this? Well, that's the relationship. It's communication, but both people have to be at that level of like a sovereign, being, where they understand where they're at and they understand what role they are playing, because it's like we're actors, in a play. So that's the big transit for the week. And then on December 12th, which I believe is next Monday, the sun will be squaring Neptune. And that can feel heavy because Neptune can be that vision that you have of like the infinite possibilities of your life. But with the sun, which is the light, the light of our solar system, the light of our hearts, and the light of our soul, literally, with a square to Neptune, it can tend to have the effect of like demotivating you, or taking away like a lot of the enthusiasm. Um, it can make it like, oh, am I on, like, should I keep fighting for this? Or, like, it can be that it has a weakening effect on your vitality. So we to sort of counteract that is just what I do when I feel like there's some really challenging transits is I literally just give myself time. And quite often, and Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot, quite often, going to sleep, I'm not even kidding, taking a nap is a complete reset. Like I did that right before this broadcast, and it's the reason why I feel grounded and centered, and I'm able to channel clearly, because I took care of myself. Like an hour before the broadcast, I was like completely exhausted. I was gonna do a reading, like record a reading, and I was like, no, I'm not recording a reading in this state, and I would rather, like do and record a reading, even if it's going to be like a day late or whatever, record it when I'm in a good place and clear and balanced and grounded than when I'm not. Because if I had recorded that reading and then if I had gone live, I would have not really been present for this. So yeah, so taking naps and doing that reset is really important. So when those challenging transits arrive, then that is your opportunity to take care of yourself in whatever way, that works for you. Now, I believe I want to share, let me do this real quick because I did want to share the screen with that Venus Pluto conjunction, which is a big deal. It's a big deal because it is happening at the same time that Venus is having that like retrograde, right? So what I'm going to do is share the screen real quick, if I can find it, because I realize now that my settings have completely changed here. Maybe it's this. Yeah, there it is. Okay. My iPad upgraded, right? And now I have to get used to it. You know what's so funny about that? Is that I was just talking about you have to upgrade your software. It is uncomfortable to be in the new world once you upgrade your software, but it just takes a minute and that's it. And then you're good. So you just need to get used to it. Get used to the new way of being, get used to the new way of thinking, get used to the new way of like acting and behaving in relationships. So that was such a great analogy. Perfect thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the moon is also in Capricorn right now, you guys, and it's about to make a conjunction to Pluto. That can be really heavy emotionally. And the moon just made a conjunction to Venus. Last night I took this beautiful freaking picture of, I wonder if I can, I want to share this with you guys. How freaking cool is technology? No joke. I want to show you two images and I'm going to like transfer them to my, I'm going to transfer them to my iPad so I can show you guys. This is awesome. Speaking of the moon conjuncting, okay, so can you guys see this picture? Let me see if okay, here we go. Here, wow, there's a lot of new things happening here. Okay, this picture I took last night. The bright star, oh my God, I can write on it. This is epic. Okay, this is Venus. that is motherfucking Venus in the sky last night. Okay? What the F? Right? Are you serious? Yes, that is how bright. I've been trying to tell you guys, that is how bright Venus is in the sky right now. Like last night, though, look at this. Look at how the crescent moon and Venus were literally like, look at that. The sun is like, oh my God, this is magic. I am so happy that I can show this to you guys. This little light right here, right? Like the white light right there. That's the part that the sun is shining in. In this picture, you can see the whole moon, but really it was so cool. Just, yeah, I know. This is insane. So Venus and the freaking moon last night, and today they're conjuncting. Now, I want to show you the next picture because this one's just as cool. So when you look up at the sky, dude, this is epic. You have no idea how freaking amazing this is. Okay, how can I make this a little bit smaller so you can see the whole thing? Okay, so there's 4 things here, and I'm gonna circle them. You've got this right here. What do you think that one is? I'm gonna circle them all. And there's one down here that you can't quite see. But basically the ones down here are like, just know that the moon is right here at the bottom. The bigger picture that I was showing you, now I've just like moved further out. Okay. So we've got Venus. No, this is freaking magical. And this one is the moon. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys. This one is Saturn. And this one is Jupiter. When you look up at the sky, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and the moon, at least right now. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I love freaking living here in Flagstaff and in Arizona because I get the freaking night sky every night. I get the stars every night. I see this, and I go out when I walk my dog, and I look around and I go, oh my God, I am in heaven. This is heaven to me. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. When you go outside and the sun is at the bottom, you see that how can I get it? It's hard to get it. But down here, like this is the sun setting. It's a sunset. Like the sun is like had just set, and then Venus, and they all start like going down. Let me do a different color. Then they start going down. So they start like disappearing. So they go under the horizon, right? But you can see them when the sun is setting, and they're like in this train. It's a train. Jenny says, I miss the Arizona skies. Dude, I don't ever want to leave. This is all I need. I go at night, and I took this picture with my freaking phone. So I know you can see it with your eyes. Like, I took this picture. I'm going to post it on Instagram, but it's so cool that I get to do this. So this is literally like what is up right now. And it's been like this for a while in the sky, but it just so happened that last night it was like all 4 of them, the moon, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter, just like aligned. And you just feel like if you like turn sideways, you're like, I can see, the planets. They're like going around the sun, and we're going around the sun. It just gives you this sense of awe. It's inspiring. It's awe-inspiring. But I just wanted to show you that because I thought that was like freaking so amazing that we were able to get that picture. Oh my God. So I'm going to move forward just a few days, and I want you to focus on the right side of the chart where there's Venus and the moon and Pluto, but mostly Venus and Pluto. I'm going to start going forward one day at a time. So moving forward until Venus turns basically red. So meaning she goes retrograde on the 19th of December. So she conjuncts Pluto, passes over Pluto, But then she goes retrograde. So that means that she starts moving backwards. And then guess what? She conjuncts Pluto again. That's 2 times, right? So then she keeps going retrograde, retrograde, retrograde. When she gets to 18 degrees, which happens on January 8th, that's when she forms the conjunction, the Cassini point with the sun. And that's the Capricorn star point. And then eventually she goes direct again. And let me see when she goes direct again. Exactly. So January 29th, I remember now because it's the day that we're starting the moon goddess training. And she starts going forward again through the degrees, through Capricorn. That's why she spends so much time in Capricorn. So now she's going back up, 26. And then boom, 27. Whoa. This is crazy. So then she conjuncts she conjuncts, wait, that's not what I meant to do. Oh my God. So then she makes a conjunction to Pluto again, but this time, look at that. Mars is right there too. 27, 27, 27. When is that? March 2nd. So this is a theme. It's like a recurring theme. That's why it's such a powerful thing to have Pluto right there. And when you have that Venus conjunct Pluto, we desire more intensity in our relationships. It dramatically increases our need for love and affection, where we want to experience companionship at a deeper and more intense level than we have before. That's what Pluto does. Remember, Venus is one of the lesser benefic, but still brings, good energy. It's a very powerful time of attraction too. Magnetic, because Pluto tends to be magnetic. So what are you attracting is really the question that you need to ask yourself. What are you attracting? So this is a conjunction that's literally, we're seeing it here, is going to happen 3 times. And obviously then she's going to pass Pluto and then she won't come back there for a while, So this is a big deal. Like, this is ongoing. This Venus thing, for these cycles, it's ongoing. We're in it for the long haul. So that's what's up. So that is the astrology of the week, but also I just showed you like a lot more because, oh my God, I just got really inspired. And I have not been looking at the chat, you guys, but thank you for being there and hanging out and communicating with each other. Yeah. Courtney said Arcturus. Well, Arcturus is not in that part of the sky. It's like Arcturus is when you look at the Big Dipper, you follow it down the line, and then towards the bottom you'll find Arcturus. It's really easy when you have those like apps where you point them at the sky. I do that a lot sometimes, and that's how I'm learning the sky. My favorite constellations are Orion, Sirius. If you look out at Sirius, I'll take a picture. Yeah, I'll take a picture tonight. Like, I need to go. I discovered that like on the top floor of my apartment building parking lot, it's like an open sky. So I'm straight up going to start taking images of the sky at night. Like, oh my God, I'm so crazy. But yes. And I'll show you the alignment, kind of like that alignment with Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and the moon. And then the comet will be there as well sometime in December. Is also the alignment that happens with Sirius, the star Sirius, the constellation of Orion, and the constellation of the Pleiades. It's a really, really powerful stuff. So here we go. Let's pull some cards and see what these star families want to tell us, what our spirit guides, angels, and teachers want to tell us. And I am thinking of doing a retreat, you guys, for this coming either April, May. I'm thinking April or May. But if I do, it'll be a very small, like maybe like a 5 people max. And it'll be like very kind of intimate and personal, not like this like huge thing, but we will be like hanging out Sedona and like sky seeing and doing all this and hiking and all that stuff. And it'll be the very first one that I ever run, but you will have to have done the Moon Goddess training to be able to join us for the retreat. And I'll like there'll be room for like five people. But that's something that I'm really excited about. So yes. Hey, Lucas, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. All right. So I am going to say a little prayer and clear the energy of the cards. And then let's see what the message is for this week. So thank you, spirit guides, angels, and teachers for being here with us this evening. Please clear the energy of these cards that we're going to be using, as well as my energy, so we can be that open channel of wisdom, messages, and important things that anybody that needs to hear this can listen to this message and receive something of wisdom and of value for them in their lives. And I thank you for always being there, holding space, beautiful sacred space for me in my life, and for inspiring me and helping to guide me through all of these powerful transits that are going on right now. So thank you. Let's see what we got. I'm going to pull 5 cards. Intuition, challenge card, overall theme, and then wisdom from the ancestors, and then an animal spirit for the week. The stars in Boston aren't great. Definitely share the sky. I love that. Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was amazing. Like out of this world, beautiful sky, stargazing. All right, let's see. Whoa, okay, I like when the cards are flying everywhere. Let's do one more. Wisdom from the ancestors. And then what is our animal spirit for the week? Don't forget to join the membership, you guys. We are going to have, we're going to launch on the winter solstice, which is December 21st. And it'll be a member-only private event, and I would love for you guys to be there. So here we go. Let me show you what we got first. We got the King of Cups, the 3 of Cups, the Hierophant, the 10 of Wands, and the Dolphin. Fuck yeah. Oh, the Dolphin is such a beautiful energy to receive. I get that. I feel that. The Dolphin is very, it aligns with the energy of the Pleiades, for sure. It aligns with the energy of the Syrian starseeds. It aligns with the energy of ancient Lemuria and crystal energy, healing energy, sound energy, sound healing frequencies, and healing in general. So it's really beautiful that the Dolphin is here to guide us. The Dolphin is also connected to the third eye and our intuition and our ability to see the unseen and hear the unheard, and trust that as a guiding light in our lives. But the intuition card is the King of Cups. So here we go. The King of Cups is about, I love the king cards, like King of Cups, King of Pentacles, King of Swords, King of Wands, because they really represent the most mature of the energy. If you think of it as like the ace of something is the beginning, right? It's like the seed, it's the baby. It's like it is about to come alive. And you go through the ace and then the second of whatever, the 2 of whatever, the 3 of whatever, the 4. And it just like you keep going up the numbers, and everything represents like there's a story, you know, within the tarot. There's a story within each of the suits. And it's tied to an element. The cups is tied to the element of water, which is also our emotions. And we've been talking about how emotions are kind of all over the place. And if you're an empath, a sensitive person, you're going to feel everything. And you do have to, at some point, be like, okay, I need a break, you know, and you need to take that space to take care of yourself. But the King card, when you get to the King, it's like it has finally reached its full, it's like the sage, right? It's like the master. It is the kind of like the Hierophant, right? Like the ascended master energy of that realm of earth, air, water, or fire. In this case, it's like the master of the emotions, the master of the heart. It is about connecting to your heart space and understanding the ups and downs of your emotions and not getting sort of carried away with those waves, but allowing them to flow. So like what I just had an image of is like an anchor, or like a very grounded, literally saw us like standing there, but we are like this obelisk, or this like grounded, centered energy, right? And the waves kind of come and go. The waves pass through, like the dolphin swims through, or whatever, the ocean, the waves, those are the emotions, they come and go. But we are very grounded, right? So this is very masculine, and the water element is very feminine. And so we need to have that understanding our emotions. By the way, this is blue Caribbean calcite. Understanding our emotions is about both being grounded and understanding the flow. You got to have both, because if you don't have this anchored, like you're just like a leaf in the wind, and that's no fun. So mastering our emotions and understanding our own flow. This is part of this is a big theme for the Moon Goddess training that I teach, is understanding that flow of emotions and not being that grounded energy. Working with both the masculine energy within you and then the flow, and understanding how those two like work together. You got to have the anchor. The anchor is important. That's why this is like the King of Cups. So it's that strong anchor that holds space for the flow to be able to be free and to flow, but not get stuck somewhere, because it has to keep flowing, right? So that's really important this week, is to remember finding the mastership, I guess you could say it, of your emotional state, your emotional body. Now, what is the challenge? This is really interesting. The Three of Cups comes up. This is actually a card of celebration. It's a card of friendship. Why would this be a struggle? Well, I think that when things are really heavy, especially emotionally heavy, what tends to happen is we forget to be joyful. Like we forget to have fun. Adulting, right? We forget to have fun. We sometimes we take things too seriously. So don't be afraid when even if there's just a little tiny moment of joy among the intense heaviness and the like that we're feeling right now in the world. Appreciate that little tiny moment that you get. I think that's what this card is telling us, is like, just appreciate that moment. Don't forget to feel always underneath everything. There's a vibration, a frequency of gratitude that underlies everything, no matter what you're going through. That's really important. That's what I feel is the message. The overall theme, this is a spiritual week. What I mean by that, the Hierophant is it's spirituality. It's like higher connection. It can be like a religious kind of energy, but I think it's more of like, ascended master teacher. And we are experiencing a beautiful spiritual awakening. And when a spiritual awakening happens, there can be little tiny spiritual awakenings. There can be like huge spiritual awakenings in your life. The huge spiritual awakenings are usually the ones that are like huge. They feel like huge tower moments where life literally falls apart. Your life falls apart. Externally, it's like, you don't even know how you're keeping it together, but literally shit falls apart. And it often feels like you have to start over, and it's very dramatic. But there can be small little realizations in between. There can be small little gems, that show up in your life, and they can come in the form of an emotion. They can come in the form of an idea, a thought, an intuitive hit, a message that you feel comes through, a synchronistic connection somewhere. Those are the little tiny like spiritual awakenings, as I like to say. But this week is one of those weeks where there is going to be a lot of synchronicities, because many things are happening. And that's why the overwhelm, right? So Kim just said ringing in my ears. That's something that can happen when you're feeling like the different places that you're at, like the different frequencies that you're at. You can be at a really high frequency in your life, which is that energy of joy and passion, inspiration, and yes, let's do this. Life is amazing. And then you could just like drop all the way down to like, I hate myself, you know? So we all go through that. We all go through those ups and downs. And sometimes they're a lot heavier when we like fall off the flying disc, the happy disc. We fall from, the higher we are, the harder we fall, or the further we fall. However, it is also the magical experience of just life in general, and how things are always moving and always flowing, and that's the gratitude that lies underneath it all. But it's a spiritual, like there's a spiritual connection to what is going on for us in our lives collectively this week. That's what the card is saying. Wisdom from the ancestors is the 10 of Wands. They are telling us that don't take on too much. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Don't overburden yourself. Be careful of overburdening yourself with too many responsibilities, because that is not something that is sustainable. To try to do too much is not sustainable. You have to find your balance. And yes, I am fully 100% for it, like exploring new depths of your own being and taking risks in your life and going for the things that you love. And that is 100% yes. If you feel it, go for it. But there are also times in life where you do have to weigh things out and find your balance, because you don't want to crash and burn. And overburdening yourselves, or feeling like there's too much on your shoulders, is going to cause that burnout to take effect. You know, it's going to cause like you to like, okay, so at some point to like fall. So at some point you have to like, okay, let me prioritize. Let me see what is the most important right now. I'm going to do all of this, but right now I need to prioritize these things are more important in my life. And that's what our spirit guides are telling us this week. Like, do not overburden yourself. What is the most important? Do those things first and let yourself feel good about completing those things in your life and being responsible and stepping into ownership and sovereignty of those things, and trusting that always everything will be perfect just the way it is. And then the beautiful dolphin, of course, is, I explained it in the beginning, but this is healing and love and the frequency of the fifth element. The dolphin represents the fifth element of intuition and ether. So this is where the magic happens. This is where the true healing happens. But you have to be in the flow, right? And dolphins, the reason why they align with the Pleiadian energy and the Sirian energy is because both of those starseed families are really, like the Pleiades especially, are focused on fun and joy, like, and also sexual pleasure. Believe it or not, like that is something that I think our society has a kind of a difficult time with. But the joy, fun, pleasure, all of those things, the Pleiades are like it's excitement, right? It's like the life force energy, and it comes from that creative life force, which is that sexual Kundalini energy. So that is why the Pleiades come through very strongly. And so the Sirians are also about intuition, and they're found in the area in Western astrology in the area of the sign of Cancer, which is also ruled by the moon, which is the sacred feminine, the sacred divine feminine, as well as our intuition, that moon goddess energy. And so these are very beautiful cards, but I feel like overall, I feel like we're being kind of guided towards joy. That's what the dolphin card brings up for me, is that we're being guided towards joy. So find the joyful moments and just breathe through the hard ones. We get royal blue, which is the energy of gratitude. So finding gratitude wherever it shows up in your life. Champagne, the energy of stillness. I love that. Is in the stillness that you will receive the answers. Cobalt blue. Oh, the energy of tenderness. So we've got gratitude, stillness, tenderness. I love these little deer. That was really, really sweet. Cerulean, community. Okay, so we got the Three of Cups, and here's the energy of three. 333 is the Ascended Masters. There's 3 women here. The Ascended Masters. And that's also the energy of the Hierophant. So community, like connection. Don't feel alone. Being alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. Being lonely often means that you are like being around the wrong people can make you feel lonely. But being alone doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be lonely. It just means that you're alone. So think about that, right? What's worth more? And then the color ginger, which is the energy of transformation, celebration. This is again like similar to the Three of Cups, and the butterfly at the above the top is like the transformation, the transmutation, the phoenix that rises from the ashes, or literally the caterpillar that becomes the butterfly. Gratitude, stillness, tenderness, community, and transformation are the energies of the week. And the triple goddess. Yes. Thank you for saying that, Erin. The triple goddess. So the maiden, mother, crone, all the whole spectrum all together here to serve and to help us connect in a more powerful way to our own divinity. Oh, that was so beautiful, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here today. Make sure that you join us in the Starseed, the Channel for Grace Starseed membership. Registration is now open. There's a link below to sign up. It's just $22 a month. And I'm going to be guiding you through these major astrological transits with activities, meditations, Akashic healing chambers. I have a very special thing planned for the full moon in Gemini that's going to be happening in about 2 weeks. And it'll be basically a preview of what those Akashic healing chambers are going to be like. And you'll get to experience them in the membership, as well as I'll be offering those as individual sessions as well. Thank you so much to all the moderators for being here in the chat. I so appreciate every single one of you. Please make sure to also check out my Etsy store. I am having a sale right now through the end of December. I have my new Serpent meditation pieces on there as well, and I am going to be creating more jewelry and slowly putting things up there. So just periodically check for new things, and if you actually, you know what would really help is if you actually favorite my store. If you like have an Etsy account or whatever, if you favorite my store, then you actually get notifications when new items are added to the store. That's a really good, easy way to kind of know when things are coming in. And also, obviously, to stay in contact by getting on my email list, downloading my free moon astrology guide that will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And there's so much magic to explore. I don't really talk about this, but I also have an astrology course on my course webpage. We've got six modules right now. And it goes through the fundamentals of astrology, the sun in astrology, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and then Mars. And the next planet that we're going to do the module on is Jupiter. And I'm thinking we'll probably do that sometime in January or February. We'll have to just kind of fit it in among all these amazing things that are going on. So I love you guys so much. Thank you all for your support always. And I hope you have a beautiful week. And I will be back on Wednesday to do the magic of Venus and to talk more about Venus. So we'll talk a little bit more about that Venus Pluto conjunction on Wednesday, and I'll tell you where that conjunction is happening in your chart. And you'll get a little bit more insight into how this is affecting you personally. So thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you all again on Wednesday. Sat Nam.